Hello, Wolfpack. We released a poll in our Telegram group recently as to what coin you guys wanted me to analyze, and we had EOS, WANchain, and Audius. And basically, this is the winner. So we got Audio USD, we've got the Bitcoin pair chart, and we've also got the Audius website and an article that explains what it is basically and what the big news around it recently has been, which is the partnership with TikTok. So obviously that's massive news, especially for the crypto world in progression into the mainstream market. So we'll bring up the article now, and then we'll look into the fundamentals of Audius a bit. So basically, the partnership with TikTok, essentially, as seen by the co-founder here, he said Forrest Brownings basically said any artist that can take a song they already have on Audius can just export it over to TikTok in one click, and essentially this means that people can use their own music. It's specifically targeted at artists, right? So they can upload their music here onto a decentralized platform and kind of make specific monetized playlists and stuff for their fans. So obviously, if you want that a bit of extra connection with your fan base, if you want to build your community a little bit stronger with a little bit more dedication, this is definitely the platform to use. So as you can see, it's very similar to Spotify, very similar to Apple Music, those kinds of things. So you can go here and you can go to the trending section here, see which songs are trending for this week. And the perks of using Audius is that if you reach the top 5 on the trending session, you actually get rewarded in audio token, audio coin. So you can see here, top 5 tracks each week receive 100 audio. And then obviously top playlists receive 100 audio, and top 5 tracks in the underground section each week receive 100 audio. So there's incentive for low-key artists as well to come on here and try and get the word out about them. So obviously there's a lot of use case here because obviously it's going to be one of the competitors to Spotify and Apple Music potentially, if it grows to that level. And I don't know really of any other coin or any other blockchain that's kind of doing this kind of thing. So it's definitely unique in its own sense. And it's, taking that step forward into crypto adoption, into a different market that we haven't really seen. We've seen different kinds. We've seen NFTs, we've seen information. We haven't really seen music really being taken advantage of from the crypto market. So we have that TikTok partnership. Obviously, that's massive news. And as you can see here, if we go to the price chart, just on CoinMarketCap, we'll start off. We can see that, when this news released just about a week ago, we pumped up massively here. If we go to the TradingView chart, we can actually see how volatile this move was. We can see that just in one day, we moved up, roughly 153%. And that wouldn't have just been from people, within the Audius community. It would have been the whole crypto market, and obviously TikTok users as well, because this is the first blockchain partnership that, any actual massive company like, Apple, Spotify, and TikTok has actually made. So it's obviously a massive step in terms of adoption. We had volume spiking up if we move to the market cap chart of over 1 billion in 4 consecutive days in a row. So a lot of hype moving into move. And if we look at the USD chart here, we can get into the TA a little bit. We can see Audius came to the market in 2018, but we're not going to look back there because it's only really gathered traction in this bull market starting in about February. And essentially we moved up here, Audius, around 278%. So not really a massive mover at the start of the bull market. 27x. So, it performed well as basically a micro-cap token at the start of the bull market, and it moved up into the spotlight a little bit. We can see that a lot of people might be confused as to why the price is actually lower than its local high here at around $5.20. And that is because there is a massive problem that I see with Audius in terms of fundamentals, not in fundamentals, but technical analysis, and that's that they're releasing new coins into the market constantly because they have to reward their users in Audius coins, which means they have to mint new coins constantly. There's no max supply on Audius here. So this is my biggest problem with this coin in terms of TA. So the fundamentals are great. I think it's definitely a big step for crypto in getting the word out. But as you can see here, where we can look in the price chart, we can see that, okay, it looks kind of normal. Then you look into the market cap chart and you actually realize that if the supply was the same as it was in March, we should be, roughly 2 or 3 times the price. So it's become harder and harder for Audius to grow in the USD pair due to the fact that there's just more supply coming into the market constantly. As you can see, and this has happened in just 3 or 4 month period. So definitely, a risky coin to hold, in terms of TA. A lot of people don't understand a lot about market cap, but essentially Right now, as I said, the price of Audius, if the amount of coins in the market was the same, if the supply was the same, it should be 3 times the price it was in March. But instead, it is actually almost half the price. Oh, yeah, around 40%, 60% down from what it was in March. So definitely risky. If that keeps going, in another 3 months, it might be, 3 times as hard to grow yet again. And if that keeps compounding over time, you can only imagine that this coin will flatline in relation to its previous all-time highs. But regardless of that, if we look at the TA here, there's always times to hold coins. There's always times to trade coins. I'd say that due to the market supply, total coin supply, max supply problems with Audius, I'd say that this is definitely a short-term swing trade rather than a long-term hold, just due to the fact that your investment is going to lose value naturally as more coins are minted onto the market. So we can see here that Audius kind of pumped up as this TikTok news took place. We had this support zone down here at around 80 cents to around 50 cents, so a bit of a wide support zone from which we formed in here in early February. We bounced off that when the capitulation in May happened on Bitcoin. So we bounced off there. We started making this upwards movement. We can see we had a little bit of a trend line. If we bring out the pen here, we can just roughly draw this trend line here in which we were moving up. And we moved up, made this massive move up, and we've kind of rounded out on the top here as the hype dies down from that announcement. So what would I be expecting for Audius? Well, if we bring up some of these indicators, we can bring up the 50-day SMA and the 200-day SMA. We can see that we have a golden cross coming in within the next few days in Audius, so that's definitely bullish for price action. But that could just be to the fact that, we've been kind of, almost manipulated by the massive amount of volume that's come in here unexpectedly. A lot of those people would be, scalp trading or swing trading the coin, so I can't expect this volume to keep coming in. We have the bull market support band, which have conquered, and we have the 7 SMA from which we've just dropped below recently, and that's kind of confirming that we might be moving down here on Audius down to this recent support zone here at $2.70 to $2.45. You can see that my reasoning behind this drop coming in obviously is because the volume's not going to be able to be sustained, but also because we've kind of overvalued here on the RSI to a similar level from which we saw in March. So we're definitely overvalued in the RSI. We need some correction or at least some consolidation. We can see that we failed to hold this $3.12 support zone. We dropped below that and we're retesting. You can see we're testing the top of the 7-day SMA here, this yellow line, but we're failing to break through. Unless we can break through within the next 18 hours, we're definitely going to be seeing something like this down to the bottom of this support zone, bounce around, and potentially a pump up if Bitcoin manages to take 50k. So we're looking for a double bottom here. If that doesn't happen, it's quite likely, especially with the supply problems here on Audius. If that doesn't happen, we can look for an alternate scenario in which we bounce down here and drop down to a lower support zone here at $2. But I really don't see it going lower than $2 in the short term unless the supply becomes heavily manipulated, in which, not manipulated, but unless the team behind Audius kind of mints a lot of coins. I don't see us going below $2 in this bull market due to the fact that I think continuation is very near on Bitcoin and near on altcoins as well. September is a month we usually see corrections in the market as well. That is worth keeping in mind. So Audius could be bouncing around a little bit in September, possibly down to this $2 zone before October, in which we'll see altcoins and Bitcoin start to take off exponentially. And I do expect Audius to break past its all-time high, even due to the supply problems, but it is actually impossible, and I mean that quite literally, it's impossible to tell you where it's going to go because we simply don't know how many coins are going to be minted in that time period. So anyone, and I will say this very confidently, anyone on the internet who is telling you where Audius is going to go in the next 6 months, the next year, I don't care what the time frame is, they're lying to you. They're either lying to you or they don't know anything about market cap. And I'm brutally honest in this channel. So I hope you guys don't take offense to that kind of stuff. I might be insulting some of your favorite YouTubers or something like that, but I'm just telling you the facts. I'm telling you that you should be cautious with this coin because it's kind of unpredictable in terms of a TA. Yes, the fundamentals are great. So we can just briefly look at the Bitcoin pair here on Audius to get a kind of understanding of what it's doing in relation to Bitcoin in terms of sats, the sat value here on Audius. So you can see that we don't have the full chart here. It came out in 2018. We have only this year, but it doesn't really matter. We can look at what's happened this year. We've reached the 9,100 sat area here in April and March, and we've also recently come up here for a retest just below it when that TikTok news came out a few days ago. what we can see is a harsh correction as Bitcoin makes its move up to 50k and as Audius corrects. So where are we looking to be caught here on Audius? Well, we can see we're probably going to be caught in this 5,200 sat area and bounce around a little bit. But I am expecting Bitcoin to make the first move in the market. That's going to be the triggering event for altcoins. So we'll probably drop down a little bit as Bitcoin gains against altcoins for a few weeks, definitely into October or November. But from that point onwards, if we zoom out here a little bit so we can get a bit of a better scale here. So October and November, Bitcoin usually does a lot better than altcoins. But in November and December, we can see that we might be seeing a curve up here, a retest of this support zone, this resistance zone at 9,200 sats, possibly a breakthrough as alt season brings into full swing. So yes, the Bitcoin pair on Audius doesn't look too bad. But the USD pair, as I said, I'd just be careful. I can't stress enough how detrimental that supply problem could be. It also could not be. It's just hard to tell what the developers are going to do. So that's my analysis, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you join the Telegram channel if you want to vote and see coins analyzed that obviously you want to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.